Welcome to another episode of Grow with Dr. Jonette. Today I am adding a whole new twist to the idea of fusion cuisine. We are fusing two of my favorite recipes, a Taco Bell crunch wrap with a Bobbie sandwich. A little bit of history before we get started. The Bobbie sandwich, for those of you that aren't familiar with it, was created in Wilmington, Delaware. It was Lois Margot who had a sandwich shop, and her Aunt Bobbie, after Thanksgiving, took the Thanksgiving leftovers and created this sandwich. And it became the signature sandwich of the sandwich shop in Wilmington, Delaware. Both Lois and her aunt are now deceased. However, the sandwich is still a popular favorite. So we're taking our Thanksgiving leftovers and putting them into a crunch wrap, putting them into our griddler, and creating a Bobbie-Crunchwrap with our Thanksgiving leftovers. I hope you give it a try and see how you like it with your Thanksgiving leftovers. Or maybe you just want to make a Bobbie sandwich. So let's get cooking. I'm going to start by first adding the turkey to our, this is a flour burrito, large flour burrito. So I'm going to add turkey to it. Maybe a little more over here. You don't want to pile it up too high because you need to be able to fold it over and close it. On top of the turkey, I'm going to go ahead and add some mashed potatoes. Now, the mashed potatoes are a little different twist. The traditional Bobbie does not have mashed potatoes in it. However, I love mashed potatoes. So I have some left over from Thanksgiving. So I'm going to go ahead and add my mashed potatoes. They may look like pink frosting to you, and you might assume, why are they pink? They're pink because I made them with my red fingerling potatoes. My red fingerling potatoes I grow in my garden. I love them because they're healthier than a regular traditional potato, and they have more antioxidants. I also think they're sweeter and more delicious. So I use them for my mashed potatoes, my roasted potatoes, and yeah, they do look a little, my grandkids think they look like pink frosting. And they're always happy to eat it because it looks like pink frosting. On top of our pink frosting mashed potatoes, we're going to add the, let's see, I think I want to add the cranberry sauce on top of that. It's really tempting to get it loaded up a little bit too much. So I have to be careful not to add, I love all of these leftovers, so I have to be careful not to add too many of these leftovers. So we'll add our, now if you had the inkling, you could add your green bean casserole or even corn to this if you wanted. I'm going to stop with what we have because I think we're going to have plenty here to try to wrap this crunch wrap with. And on top of that, we're adding some stuffing. This is my homemade stuffing. This is my stuffing. I put roasted chestnuts in my stuffing. These are roasted chestnuts from our chestnut tree. And it has sausage and vegetables and, of course, all the traditional things that stuffing have, the bread. And I like to cook it inside of my turkey as well. It adds that extra, infuses it with that extra little bit of fat into the stuffing. And lastly, we're going to give a nod to the Mexican portion of it, the Taco Bell portion of it. I'm adding some Mexican melting cheese to top it off with. You can see here the type of cheese is Oaxaca. I hope I said that right. Okay, we are ready to see if we can get this crunch wrap folded, ready to go into our Cuisinart griddler. This is going to be a challenge. Yes. Okay. I think we got it. Now, you could, if you wanted to, you could heat up a pan like this. You want to put the folded side down first and cook that folded side down first and then flip it over. I also put a little oil on the pan, but today we're going to be using our Cuisinart griddler. But before we put that in our Cuisinart griddler, I want to talk to you about my simplest smart tip for Thanksgiving leftovers. After Thanksgiving, you're gonna if you hosted Thanksgiving, you may have a lot of turkey bones. In other words, the turkey carcass left over. What can you do with that? Because I don't like to waste any food. And in fact, my farmer Fred says no bone leaves our kitchen without being boiled down. So you'll notice behind me here on the stove, there is a large kettle that's boiling. If you want to know how to make your turkey leftovers into turkey broth, go to my website at growwithdrjonette.com and type in the search bar how to make broth. You can learn how to make turkey broth, beef broth, or if you're vegetarian, vegetable broth. All of that's there for you. So let's go ahead and cook up our crunch wrap. So I have my Cuisinart griddler. This is a sandwich maker. It can be used like this as like a panini press, or it can be opened up and used as a grill for maybe cooking pancakes or something like that, eggs, things like that, hash browns. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put a little bit of oil on both sides of it. And we're gonna actually use it as a panini press or like a sandwich press. I love this for Reubens or grilled ham and cheese, one of Farmer Fred's favorite sandwiches. And if you scroll down to the links below, you'll see a link where you can purchase this on my website. We're gonna go ahead and put that there, and I'm going to go ahead and close it. While that's cooking, let's talk about our neuronutrition nugget, tryptophan. After we eat a big Thanksgiving dinner, it seems like all of a sudden you feel like that food coma, that I'm sleepy, I'm tired, time to take a nap comes on. And we tend to blame that on a substance that is in the turkey, tryptophan. Tryptophan is an amino acid. It's an essential amino acid in our body, one of 20 essential amino acids. And it is also the precursor to serotonin. Serotonin is a substance that is important to our brain and our body. Most of it is actually made in our gut by our microbiome of our gut. But that's about 80% of it, but about 20% of it is also made by our brain. In addition to that, tryptophan is one of those substances that helps elevate our mood and also helps us relax and go to sleep at night. So that is why most people think that tryptophan, after we eat a big turkey dinner, tryptophan in the turkey is what makes us sleepy and tired. The reality of it is, as tempting as that is to blame the turkey or the tryptophan in the turkey on our sleepiness, more likely it's all of the carbs that we consumed and the large meal that we consumed, the mashed potatoes, the pumpkin pie, the other desserts, the corn, the green beans. All of those are pretty high in carbohydrates, and it's more likely that they actually contributed to our afternoon sleepiness, or it's more likely that they were what contributed to our after dinner, after the Thanksgiving feast, fatigue, sleepiness, and that lovely nap that we most likely were able to engage in. Let's take a look and see where we're at. Oh, that's looking good. Let's flip it over and see how we're looking on the other side. That's a little darker than I like, but it's still delicious. So let's take it off of here and we're gonna cut it up and enjoy it. Let's see. So if you're cooking your Bobbie-Crunchwrap on the stove, I would cook it on probably medium-low because you want to give it enough time for all that cheese to melt and all of the insides to get nice and warm. Also, you want to be able to, also you're going to flip it over partway through so that both sides get nice and browned. Also serve this crunch wrap if you wanted to. Heat up your leftover turkey gravy and put some gravy on it and eat it that way. However you want to enjoy it, it'll be delicious. Enjoy your Thanksgiving holiday, your Thanksgiving leftovers, and I hope this inspired you to try something different maybe and combine a crunch wrap with a Bobbie. Thank you for watching, clicking that like button as well as subscribing. And when you sign up for notifications, we'll let you know whenever we post a new video so that you don't miss any of our delicious recipes, our gardening tips, as well as our neuroscience, neuronutrition nuggets, and our neuroscience videos. This is a channel where we make neuroscience understandable and let you apply it to every aspect of your daily life. See you next week on Grow with Dr. Jonette. And don't forget, go to my website, scroll down to the link below, Grow with Dr. Jonette, or my other website, drjonette.com.